Thank you, Coach, from beautiful South Florida. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. He spins free and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Ryan now off the bootleg. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though, and it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that 3rd down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw a little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right, that opening drive, keep those chains moving.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 4 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's number 6 in the league in receiving yards, and he plays for his team first, but he also, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, if I can get into the top 5, that might affect his bonus in his contract.
A give. This is Kelly. And, he spins past him and into space. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ferguson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 11 more on that one and another first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
From the shotgun, Ryan. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Well, whatever they said appears to have worked. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time, and the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, let's go! 38!
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And he will finally be taken out of bounds.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Play action. Mosley going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Brandon, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go!
From the gun, Mosley. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Let's go. What? 9.
Off the play fake, Mosley. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. We'll look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Come on, let's go. What? 9.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. 3 catches last week. He's got 3 in the first quarter here tonight.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that has to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
Hey, come on, let's go. Try 38. Try 38.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Encroachment, defense.
So that's going to move him half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
The penalty gets them half the distance closer, but they'll still need to come up with something on 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. Mosley. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On now the Miami field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the year.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Let's go. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So 1 quarter in the books here on Christmas Eve. 7-3 the score, and we'll be back to South Florida after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Here we go. 319.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Now let's go. Green.
They go play action with Ryan. That is caught at the 7. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
First and goal, Kelly. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Green 39.
He's going to get it running right. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal.
Set. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And out come the Dolphins now. The partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but there's that special one there. I say they go get him. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Off play action. Mosley throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
On 3rd down, it's Blake. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
On 1st down, Mosley. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go! What? 90!
Off the play fake, Mosley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On 1st and 10, Mosley. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. What?
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Maybe he was going to be involved in that play from his tight end spot, and he jumped.
Yeah, don't tell me that those guys don't like to block. That's what we say about them nowadays in the NFL. But I think he thought he was one of the key pieces in that play and wanted to get out and execute the assignment very fast.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. They get 1 yard back there to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Here we go. Grand 38.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker, because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything, because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. And they picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Come on, let's go.
Operating from the gun, Mosley. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They go play action now. Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Chicago. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 25-yard line.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Play action. Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. Another nice gain. 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, Ryan. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive spanned 5 plays and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
Throwing on 1st down. Mosley. And that's incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Come on, let's go. What? None.
To throw on 3rd down. Mosley, he's going to float this one deep right, and that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big gain of 38 there on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Here we go. What 90? What 90?
On first down, Mosley. And his throw here is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing again, Mosley to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
On third down, Mosley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Off play action. Mosley. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Throwing on 3rd and long. Mosley. This will be caught at about the 5. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. On second down, Ryan. His throw incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Here we go. White, 90. White.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Let's go.
A final shot before break. Mosley. And he finds a man with a crossing route.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to Minneapolis to check on the Vikings at home in U.S. Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that game as they fall to the visiting Detroit Lions. 17-13 was the final. And then on Monday night, folks, you are in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and what equates to be a very tough opponent. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Come on.
Looking to throw on second down. Mosley. He's going to let this one. And got his man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now they try the right side here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
He'll get it up the middle. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
To throw on 2nd down. Mosley. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. In for the score. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 1-score game.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just haven't been able to punch it in until that point. Extra point forthcoming. Extra point up and through. And this is back to a 5-point game. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
This is Kelly. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Let's go!
Now Ryan on second down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. The Bears on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Ryan. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Pierce. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll run with Kelly. And they're going to get him down, but not before a pretty good run right there. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Here we go now.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hurry up, here we go.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Here we go now.
They did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And he'll go down at the 28. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On the carry is Kelly. And some strong running. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On second down, here's Ryan. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th
Still first
quarter.
down.
Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Come on, let's go.
Back to throw. Mosley. There's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory. And that's when they lick their chops in order to get the big hit or a play on the ball.
Offensively, nice execution to find a hole, make the catch.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Off the play fake. Mosley. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Come on, let's go.
On 1st and 10, Mosley. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. They'll try the draw. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted a tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Ryan. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Come on, let's go. What?
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Let's go.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let him play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now Ryan down around the goal line. And he finds a man with a crossing route.
Holding. Offense.
So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up third down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to third down and making the play there.
To throw is Ryan. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Green 39! Green 39!
Operating from the gun. Ryan got his man complete over the middle. That's Hansen. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10.
Now let's go!
Play action. It's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Ryan. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Dolphins' offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Let's go. One.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mosley. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go. Grand 38.
From the gun, Mosley. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Over the middle, complete. It's Ferguson. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does,
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Hurry up, here we go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. They're back now to the original line of scrimmage thanks to that 8-yard gain. Third down now to follow.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Off play action. Ryan. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Looking to throw. Mosley, 70th catch for him on the year. And like so many others, this goes for a first down.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Let's go.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they're facing a big 3rd down now in this tie ball game.
Let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
And they'll go on the ground. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Ryan to throw. Oh, this is going to wind up a safety. Gosh, this game felt a bit weird all along the whole way through, and no better play maybe exemplifies that weirdness than that safety right there.
Partner, you've got a tie game and time running out. You've got to be ultra careful down on that end of the field, and this could very well be the play that decides this football game.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2, so any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, let's go! Grand 38!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Come on, let's go! What?
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes, leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. 23 yards on the play. So there's the spike as it comes with 23 seconds to go. They'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, how about keeping your head about you in this situation? No more timeouts. Finds a way to get out of bounds. Now they can breathe a little bit as they contemplate what to do on the next down.
Back to throw. And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Miami, The win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills. So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.